Welcome back to Sunday Night Spookies, the podcast dedicated to exploring the mysterious and the spooky unknown. My name is Lex.
And I'm Sarah.
And this is episode 3, Deep Web and the Dark Web.
Yeah, they are two separate things, in case you didn't know.
They sure are.
We're going to start with a huge trigger warning. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about a lot of nasty stuff. Not in detail, but if you're sensitive to,
abuse,
cannibalism,
just
any,
really dark. It's really dark stuff.
Yeah, and we'll give you another trigger warning, when it really comes up. Mm-hmm. We're going to try to be brief about it because, frankly, we don't really want to talk about it.
No, we don't have any, really terrible stories or, we don't have anything, graphic necessarily.
No, it's just, the terms.
Yeah.
So,
for full disclosure, we have to say things that include those
bad terms.
Topics.
Yeah.
So,
also, we did not visit the dark web.
No, if the FBI is listening.
We didn't actually go on it. We watched some people go on it.
We did watch others access / buy things off of the dark web, but we would never do that. I would literally, not even joking, not even sarcastic, would never do that.
No. My husband's a tech freak, and I think that he would shoot me if he's like, you went on the dark web? Because there's just so much shit that can go wrong.
There's a lot of stuff that can go wrong. It's bad.
Bad stuff.
So I wasn't really aware that there was a deep web. I just kind of thought that there was the internet and there was the dark web.
Yeah.
I didn't really know about a deep web. And
no. I've seen people mention I've seen people use the term interchangeably. But it is not. No, it's not. It's two completely separate things. Mm-hmm. And the deep web is not what you think it is.
No, it's not. It really isn't.
No, not at all. I was really shocked to learn about it.
Yeah. So I kind of want to start with the levels of the internet.
Mm-hmm. And we can post this picture too.
Yeah. And I'm going to flip back and forth between a couple of things. So if I'm lagging a little bit, very sorry. So level S of the internet is also called the ClearNet. And this has social networks, search engines, Wikipedia, email services, just your regular internet content, whatever that is. Whatever you can
you're listening to
access.
Us on an app. That's
this is level S.
Yeah.
We are on level S. But then there's also level 1, which is the surface web. Mm-hmm. So we're not too deep yet, but surface web. So that's there's blogs, social networks that are closed down, but also Reddit, forums, Tumblr, Amazon, eBay, whatever. Mm-hmm. So that's level 1. Level 2 has your illegal video streaming services and uTorrent, all that kind of stuff. Level 3, you need software to access it, and that is a little bit more advanced. You've got all of your sensitive, we'll call it sensitive content.
Yeah.
Adult content. There could be gore, some celebrity scandals, weird VR things. Mm-hmm. A little bit deeper. Level 4 is commonly called the worst of the internet. The dark web, black market trades, human trafficking, illegal porn, stuff like that. Also, I have another list here. Illegal content.
Yeah, more very illegal content.
Yeah, we'll just encompass that. Illegal content of all kinds. So there's also a level 5, which is Mariana's Web, which is named after the Marianas Trench, which is the deepest trench,
the deepest part of the ocean,
deepest part of the web, whatever.
Yeah.
Level 6 is described as being the level between 5 and 7.
When we did our research, obviously we did research, but we also watched some videos. Mm-hmm. And the guy that was talking about this in one of the videos, and we both looked at each other, we're like, why even make it a level?
Right. Just move what? 7 up to 6 and move on. So level 6 between 5 and 7.
Weird.
Level 7 apparently is an all-out war where people are fighting to reach level 8, and I don't understand.
Yeah,
he said that, and I was like, what?
This is like, I think pretty much level 5 through 8. I would describe it as like, you know, those people that are like crazy into conspiracy theories and are just so deep into thinking like the lizard men are listening to them and they're gonna come take their dog because their dog's been sent on a mission by aliens. Like the people that are really far gone, I feel like are the people that believe in these last few levels of the internet.
Yeah.
Because past level 4, which is the dark web, it's kind of speculation as to the other levels.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, guys.
The last level is the prime arc level. Okay?
This is where you get to meet
Jesus.
Jesus.
That's where apparently, or whatever, but that's the last level of the internet. Okay? And like you said, 5 through 8, complete speculation. Like no, like people know, right? There's people that know.
Yeah, well, there's also people that like know that aliens exist.
Right. True that. But then also people know, but then people also like just don't know. And so those are the 8 levels, 9 levels, I think, if you include the
level S.
Like level S.
Yeah. Well, you also have to think about like these people that think that 5 through 8 exist are like, because you know that there's people that we were using the analogy a few days ago of like the Dybbuk box or like curses. Where like, oh, if you open this box, you're gonna have a heart attack right here. And like, would I believe in that? Probably not. But I wouldn't open it.
Right.
Like I wouldn't.
You don't have to believe in it.
Right.
But
I
like,
have to believe in it to risk it. And I think that like those people that know that the internet's here kind of scare the other people into thinking like, yeah, it's probably real. I mean, if this person's saying it, like I don't have to believe in it to not like go find it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. So that's like the very basic knowledge. Okay. So the deep web, also called the invisible web or the hidden web. If you hear any loud noises, it's fireworks. It's a holiday weekend, and it's really dumb.
Stupid.
People have dogs that are scared of fireworks, guys.
Yeah, like both of mine.
Like, I get it for like the 4th, right? Like, or like the Saturday before the 4th. It's like not even. It's fine. Anyway, anywho.
Sorry.
It irritates me, but it's fine. Okay, so the term deep web was first coined by computer scientist Michael K. Bergman in 2001. So like that's when like the term was created. So the deep web is any website that is not indexed by search engines like Google or Yahoo or Bing, and is a web page that you just like you cannot Google to find these web pages.
Yeah,
they will not, it doesn't matter what you type in, it will not pop up.
Yeah, like my auto loan page that I have to log into. You cannot find that on Google. Right.
So the most commonly used deep web sites are like logging into any personal account. So, like going on Facebook and like searching for someone and finding their profile isn't deep web. Logging into your account to access parts of your account and access other people's profiles in the way that like only you can see or like only friends can see, like that's deep web, because I can't like look up your profile and see the whole thing if I'm not your friend or whatever. Like I would have to log into the deep web to see the thing that I want to see.
Anything you have to log into
or register
for, that's part of the deep web.
Like watching Netflix, because like you can go to netflix.com, but you can't watch anything unless you are registered and like pay for that service. Same thing with like when you log into YouTube. Like sure, you can access YouTube without logging in.
Yeah, but if you wanted to see videos I've liked, you'd have to log into my account.
Right. Like that logging into something is deep web. So that's like social media sites, any banking profiles that you have, but it also includes like journals and scientific studies.
Yeah, so like because I'm a college student, so if I want to use my college's library, I have to log in as my student ID number to access some of like the scholarly journals that the campus holds.
Yep.
That's part of the deep web.
Yep. So, and none of those, it doesn't matter what you type into the search bar, it's just not coming up.
No. I
mean, I guess you could type it into the search bar and eventually it would probably come up, but I don't think it would.
No.
Because we'll get to that later. It's fine. So, there are an estimated 4 billion pages on the deep web. And that's 400 to 500 times what the surface web has.
Yeah. Well, and if you think about that, because at first I was like, holy shit, that's a lot. But if you think about it, how many accounts do you have on the internet that you have to log into?
A lot.
You know what I mean? Probably like
all
20 to 30.
Yeah.
Maybe, max, whatever.
Right.
And each person has, I mean, not each person, but the majority of the population
sure
has
some
roughly
kind of
that many to log into.
I mean, when you think about it, like, you've got all your social media profiles, you've got all of your banking profiles, like credit cards,
your house bills,
like everything.
Yeah.
I mean, Netflix, Hulu, Spotify, like Amazon, like
iTunes.
a million things. Like
Anything.
I must have at least 30 things I have to log into.
And when we found that, I was so surprised that this was the deep web.
Yeah.
I was like, this is supposed to be more sinister, right? Like
right. I definitely thought that. The deep web. It's very spooky.
No, not.
So, like Google, Yahoo, Bing, all your search engines, they only search 0.03% of all available pages.
Isn't that wild? Because Google.
Just it's a literal minuscule fraction of a percent.
Yeah. It's like a mind fuck. I Google
crazy.
So much shit. Mm-hmm. And I spend so much time scrolling through page after page after page on Google.
I feel like I alone have searched at least 1% of the internet.
But I have not. You Google more than I Google.
I have to know things. It's fine. So we thought that was a little bit crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, deep web, often thought to be scary. It's really not. It's just websites that you just can't access.
Yeah, the secure part of the internet.
Yeah. So this is a little bit confusing, and so bear with me because I don't really understand it entirely either. There's 2 ways to access unindexed sites. I think that's the right way to say that.
Yeah, and then unindexed is like
not
my
searchable
personal accounts.
Right, not searchable things. So the first, and I think the most popular,
it's the most popular,
is Tor, and that stands for the onion router.
Mm-hmm.
And they used the analogy of you have to peel back layers in order to find
all the
thing that you're looking for, and that's what Tor does or whatever. So Tor will mask your IP address with layers, and that'll bounce your IP address all over the world. And when you use that, the URLs that are associated with using that route, like the onion router, will the URL will end with .onion,
mm-hmm.
and the rest of the address will use random strings of numbers and letters.
Yeah, so if you're not going to facebook.com, if you're using Tor and you're trying to access, you're trying to hack into someone's Facebook using Tor, which you
mm-hmm.
can do if you're so inclined.
That's your business.
Yeah. We're not condoning that.
No, absolutely not.
But you wouldn't go to facebook.com, whatever.
It would just be Facebook. It was I remember we saw it in a video. It was Facebook something .onion.
W4XYZ, just these random strings, and it'll never be the same.
Right. No, ever. So even if you get a link, let's say, to Facebook, even if you try to access that website again, it won't be you could copy and paste the link and it won't take you there again.
No, because you've used Tor, it's going to screw up your IP address to everything you visit.
Yep.
So that people can't trace you. That's the point of it.
Right. And Tor changes, I don't remember how exactly they explained it, but Tor will change your entrance and exit points for how you access a web page.
Yeah,
so that you're basically untraceable. Yeah,
so you have if I'm going to log into Facebook, I into Facebook from this computer and then I log off of Facebook, and it's basically just one A to B. I'm getting into Facebook, I'm spending an hour on Facebook, I'm getting off of Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to use Tor, you enter Facebook, and then it'll take your IP address and it'll go from A to Z to Y to X to 7,
mm-hmm.
and then out Twitter.
Yeah.
It just completely screws everything up.
And I would like to briefly compare this to the people who were trying to hack my Yahoo email address this past week.
She's had such a time.
They're probably using one of these 2 different things.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's the other day, I'm just going to get into this really quick because it's all included.
If any of you have Yahoo, stop using Yahoo.
It is the worst security that's ever existed.
Well, because I used to only use Yahoo. And I also, like, I was hacked so much that Yahoo was like, you no longer have access to this. And it just shut me down. And I'm like, but all of my, like, school emails and everything, and I could not access it again.
Yeah, it's, well, so, like, I don't know, like 6 years ago, 8 years ago, I got, like, an email that Yahoo was, like, breached or some shit. And then they were like, oh, well, you don't have a Yahoo anymore. And I was like, what the, like, what? And then eventually I got back in, but it was like months before I got back in.
Yahoo's terrible.
And then this, like, every once in a while I'll get like a notification, and I have like the 2-factor authentication on all my stuff, so don't even try it. But it goes straight to my phone, and so you can't hack me because I've got it on.
I'm sure they could.
But I'm sure they could, but please don't. But so, like, I would get like a notification like, hey, are you trying to log in from, like, Firefox? Who uses Firefox anymore? But anyway, that's beside the point. Men. True that. Or, like, what was it, like, was it before, like, not Pathfinder, it was, like, there was a, like, Netfinder or something. Was that it? Was that one? Anyway, my dad used to use that. But, like, I would be like, oh, are you logging in from Brazil or something? And I'd be like, no. And then it would go away. And that happened every once in a while for, like once a month or something. But the other day, it happened 4 times in a literal row. It was like, are you logging in from Birmingham, Alabama? Are you logging in from Brazil? Are you logging in from Tokyo? Are you logging in from...
Yeah.
And I was like, no. I kept hitting no.
No.
But I'm like, no, this is my last straw. So I no longer have a Yahoo email address because I can't. Yeah. And this is directly related to what we're talking about, so it's not really a tangent.
No, because they probably were using Tor to get into all this shit.
Right. Trying to get my stuff on the dark web. Screw you. I'm angry about it.
I'm sure if we looked for ourselves on the dark web, we'd definitely find it.
For sure. For sure.
All the, like, shady websites, not like shady as in, like,
what?
Gross.
Where are
shady.
you going?
But like LimeWire and like all this shit.
LimeWire.
All the shit that I used to use when I was like 14 and didn't give a fuck about what I did to my parents' computer.
LimeWire was literally
was the main one.
Well, I always was like waiting for that to cause a virus, and it never did.
Oh no!
I got an email
our computer was just. It could have caught on fire, I'm pretty sure. The cable company emailed my parents, like, you downloaded Blame It on the Alcohol by Jamie Foxx and T-Pain illegally. Stop it. My mom can vouch for me, too, because that really happened. But I used to do the, you know those, like, addictinggames.com?
Yeah.
I used to find those, like, just find, like, knockoff websites of those and, like, you need to download this Java server. And I'm like, download. I want to play this game.
This is fine. This is fine.
Oh, my gosh.
True that, though.
R.I.P. my mom's many computers that I've screwed up.
True that, though. I'm like, LimeWire. Throwing it back. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
I used to hate that because I would like download music into I had a Zune or like the knockoff iPad that Microsoft put out. I had one of those and I thought it was the coolest kid. And I would download all my music on there and I'd be like listening to like Seether or Evanescence, you know, Flyleaf, all these things. And I had my volume full up. And it all of a sudden, I did not have it. And I'm just like, ah! It was the worst. I'm like sitting on the bus or on the playground. It was the worst.
And you're like, wow, I wasted that whole hour downloading this one song
because I lived in the middle of nowhere. Stupid. Sorry.
Anywho, that was a tangent, but it's fine. So Tor. Yeah. Used for privacy and lets you access websites without leaving a trace. And so that's good for like journalists who are trying to like post or like blog about things in an oppressive regime. And we'll leave it there.
Yeah.
In an oppressive regime. Or
if you're trying to access things like in China.
Like if you can't.
That are banned. You
certain
can use
social
Tor.
medias and stuff. Yeah. You can. We're not condoning that.
Yeah.
That's between.
We do not condone illegal activity.
That's between you and your government, okay? I don't know.
Or you and your
That
world.
applies to everyone. That applies to all. That is between you and the FBI and other countries' equivalent of the FBI. So, the second way to access these like deep dark webs is I2P, or the Invisible Internet Project. We don't have much on that. Not as much as Tor.
This one was kind of like, I feel like this is the shadier of the two.
I definitely got the shadier of the two vibes. I for sure did. So everything on there is anonymous and secure, usually used for like messaging services. But it's also designed to be used with traditional internet services.
Yeah, so like if I wanted to just use it to go on my email to like extra make sure, like if I was going to use Yahoo, I'd use
whatever.
I2P. You know, like you can do that, but
I don't think many do.
no, I think like I2P are. I think of I2P for like the elite hackers. Like
Okay.
it's like super stripped down, it feels like. Of course I've never used it, so I have no idea. But just from like the videos and like things that we were watching, it looks like you would need a very specific purpose to use I2P and know
Sure.
exactly what you're doing with it.
Sure. So I2P achieves totally anonymous connections by encrypting a user's traffic and sending it through a volunteer-run network of roughly 55,000 computers worldwide.
Yeah. So
I said that as a question because Sarah put that note in there.
so kind of like how Tor, it'll take, like Tor takes your IP address and like bounces around and whatever. This, from what I was reading, and I definitely could be wrong, I'm sorry if you know and I'm like totally off topic, please let me know if I am. But this like volunteer run network or like volunteer computers will take all of your addresses and your information and everything, and it'll scramble it up by sending it to different computers around the world. So kind of just like, if you've ever seen Coraline, I don't know why this is coming to mind. Have you guys ever seen the movie Coraline? There's one part where the other mother is like chasing Coraline, and she like, the house falls away and it's just this web, and they're like bouncing around all over this web, and like the other mother will hit one of the strings of the web and Coraline on the other side of the web will fall, and so it just like ripples everything up. And that's like, I just don't know why that's like the mental image I'm getting, but I'm gonna share it anyway.
Okay.
So just kind of like Tor, it just scrambles all your shit so you're not traceable, just in a slightly different way.
Okay. So that's like that's the deep web. Mm-hmm. I always want to call it the deep dark web, but that's
The deep dark web.
but that's not it. So that's the deep web. So not really anything too scary, weird about that.
Yeah, I was, like I said, I was very shocked that the deep web was just like anything you can look into.
Because so what I thought was, I didn't really like have a name for it. I just was like, anything that I can access is just like the internet.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't like grouping like my bank account or whatever, utilities, whatever the hell.
Yeah.
I wasn't grouping that in like a different category. I was like, well, I can access that by not using any other softwares is what I was.
Yeah.
So to me, it was just all the surface web, like the things I can access.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But not. Interesting. Now, we're going to get into the dark web type of things.
This is your trigger warning.
How far are we in? Approximately. We're about approximately 23 minutes in. So it's been a great 23 minutes if you have to leave. We appreciate you for stopping by. But
yeah,
there's going to be some themes of not so great things, including abuse and
torture,
gore,
and hitmen, and yeah.
Yeah. So
if you're squeamish, bye.
Yeah, we got to include all the deets for people who are weird like us.
And you just need to know.
But I'm very sorry. Thank you for stopping by. And
here we go. Diving in.
Here we are, doing the thing.
Okay, so the dark web. This is what you think of like, oh, I'm going to go order me some kidneys. This is where you're going to go to do it. And you have
I'm fresh out of kidneys.
Shit.
Yeah, Ship doesn't offer them.
No. Okay, so this is, you need Tor or I2P to get in here.
Okay.
The dark web, surprisingly, was created in the 70s at the same time as the internet itself.
I was mind blown.
I was
when
too.
I was like, that doesn't make any sense.
We rewound the video like twice and we're like, is he right? Is he sure?
Yep.
Because when the internet was created in the 70s, it was used for like the government, like intelligence-based stuff. So it was created at the same time. In the same way, you just needed a software to give you a more secure internet. And that's basically all it was at the time. Was like, hey, I need the software because I really need to be undercover for this.
And they called it the darknet software.
Yeah, they called it the darknet software. So on the dark web, this is where you're going to find basically your black market. And anything you buy or sell or trade basically has to be done through Bitcoin or any other kind of cryptocurrency. On the deep web, you have like your bank information. So you can like logging into my Amazon account, I'm buying something on the deep web, you know,
With your real money.
with my real money. But you need Bitcoin to operate anything on the dark web. And I have a list of things you can find for purchase on the dark web. So get ready. You can buy Bitcoin, obviously. And there was like, we were watching some guy like explore the dark web on a YouTube video.
It was kind of boring for like the
so
most
boring,
part. Yeah.
But there was like, oh, if you know, pay me, guys, I have no idea, but I have no knowledge of Bitcoin. I'm just going to throw some random ass numbers out. If you pay me 25 Bitcoin and hit this button, you're going to get 7,000 back.
It's like it's a crazy amount of money.
It was stupid. The site this guy was like looking at. Money laundering. Same thing. Give me $20 or 20 Bitcoin, you're going to get this stupid amount of money back.
Yep.
You can order hackers, like people to hack stuff. And he was looking at one site, the guy that we were watching, and it was like, oh, pay me, I don't know, $600 equivalent in Bitcoin, and I will hack somebody's Facebook and take over their computer and like run their computer for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
So you can do that. You can order hitmen on the dark web.
You should not.
You shouldn't do any of this, but...
Yeah, hang on. We're really quick. Not condoning. This
Anything.
is don't do on our
This is just
account.
for informational purposes only. Thank you, FBI agents who are listening.
Yeah. Don't be like, Saturday Night Spookies told me I could do this. No, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
Someone could, but none of you should.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nobody should.
No one should.
Don't be ordering hitmen. It's stupid. You can order drugs. Surprisingly, not surprisingly, you can order drugs on the dark web. And then, okay, guys, this is where it gets real dark. There's multiple websites where you can buy dead fetuses for purchase.
I don't want to know where they come from or how they get them.
Well,
I mean, I know where they come from.
We're laughing because we're uncomfortable, and that's how we deal with trauma and like bad shit.
It's really terrible.
Another thing you can buy is human leather products. And there was one website on this video, obviously, because we did not go to the dark web.
No, we did not.
Where it was a human leather company, and it had like a nice website, surprisingly. It was like a nice...
It was not too shabby.
Professional looking website. And they said that they had been shut down for like over demand of products.
It was like, we've been shut down for like a few years or something like that because of...
all the back order that they had to fill.
They could not fulfill all of the orders that they were like trying to request, and they were hoping that they could open up soon.
Yeah, like it said on the website, we're hoping to like open back up soon. It's like,
yeah, I cannot.
You also can, like, other than human leather, you can buy human products made from humans.
I don't. It was vague when I heard it, and I'm gonna keep it there.
Yeah, that's just what it was. You can also buy people's urns, and I don't really know the point of this. The only thing that comes to mind is that one episode of like My Strange Addiction where the bitch was eating her husband's ashes.
I remember that episode. She was like putting them in her gums like a freaking addict.
Yeah, like she would rub it on her gums.
I'm so uncomfortable because I just remembered it.
She would sprinkle it on her food too.
That was a bad time. She carried it in her purse and just
baggies of it. You know what? I bet you that guy's looking down from heaven like, what the hell are you doing?
She wanted to be. I remember she said she wanted to be close to him.
That's gross.
I mean, just carry him with you then. You don't have to like...
Just carry the bag. You don't eat it.
You don't have to snort him.
Gross. Anyway, and what I noted when we were watching this like informational video, I'm like, because the guy was like, oh, you can buy somebody else's urn full of ashes for $1,400. And I go, that's how much you get cremated for.
Right.
Like, that's exactly the amount it takes to like cremate you. Except if you live in our area, you see billboards where it's like cremation for cheap, $900 only. Have you seen those?
I have.
I'm like, what?
I absolutely have.
I'm like, I get that you need to advertise, but like do it better. So if you're looking for an urn, I guess you can find it there.
A full urn.
Yeah, a full urn.
Not just an urn.
Not just, an urn. There's been, in the past, cannibalistic forums. And I don't know if they're still up and running.
He said, the video we watched, I feel like he said that, like, like people don't quote know for sure, but like there was one specifically that like I don't remember what the name of it. I hate myself because I don't remember what the name of it was, but it was like a well-known cannibal forum.
I'm gonna look it up real quick because there's a whole case about it because some guy, and I've like watched a documentary about it, some guy put himself up to be eaten. Like that was like his weird sexual fantasy.
Yeah, that guy. Oh, I don't remember his name either. Of course I don't, but
I'm looking it up.
Yeah, they like had an arrangement.
Oh yeah, it was like a contract. He was paid for it.
How do you get paid? Did the guy who was eaten pay the cannibal, or did the cannibal pay the guy that was eaten?
It was Cannibal Cafe.
Cannibal Cafe.
That's what it was.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, there was at one point confirmed Cannibal Cafe forum on the dark web, which basically people could just like, hey, my fantasy is to be eaten, and like you can choose. I would like to die in this way. You get the gist. You get the gist. But yeah, so apparently, if your weird fantasy is to, be food for a cannibal. Mm-hmm. The next thing on the list is human experimentation. Mm-hmm. Forums. You can just sign up to be a guinea pig for some like stupid ass human experiment. I think of
or not sign up.
Yeah,
I was kind of getting that vibe too.
Yeah, or not sign up. Like, you're gonna, like, just be taken,
That's kind of the vibe I was getting when we were, like, researching.
Oh, yeah.
That it wasn't always necessarily voluntary, but...
No, and I'm sure people do it because they can get, like, paid for it. They can probably get paid well for it. Mm-hmm. But I'm guessing the majority of the times, it's, like, people that they just snatched,
Yikes.
This, like, reminds me of the Nazi experiments on humans during World War II. Mm-hmm. Like Dr. Mendelsohn, I want to say his name was.
Don't ask me.
I think that's what it was, where he like experimented on twins. Did all these crazy things to twins. It was terrible. You also can find animal abuse on there from pictures, videos discussing, showing, like everything. Like this is one thing that was very prevalent on the dark web. Like it was one thing that everyone that we like watched on YouTube or anything that we read was like, you're gonna find a lot of this if you venture.
Yep.
Which was not good. You also can find, I'm not gonna say it, but gross child images, videos. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's another thing that is extremely prevalent on the dark web. Extremely prevalent.
And I think that's one of the things. I mean, obviously, I think that like law enforcement are worried about the entirety of the deep web or dark web. Sorry, but I think those type of images are like top freaking priority.
Yeah, when you hear about people getting arrested from the dark web, like, oh, this guy like manages this dark web thing, it's usually for crimes against children. Mm-hmm. Another thing that you can find, supposedly, there was some videos that we were watching that say these don't exist, and some that like, no, they definitely do exist. I kind of err on the side that they definitely do exist. Yeah. Maybe not on the dark web per se.
And maybe not in the way that they say that they exist, but
they exist. I'm going to tell you right now. Just humans are shit. So you can have red rooms. And basically what a red room is it comes from the term red rum, murder. Like one video we said that, because like in The Shining, he writes red rum on a door, which means murder. And so like, oh, that's like the thing. That's where they got the name.
Also, I was thinking like red rum. Don't people in like East Pennsylvania or like New Jersey say like rum instead of room?
Yeah.
That's every time when I heard
people
say,
from like, I had a red rum. Yeah, I had a family member from Louisiana, and it was always like, go clean your rum.
Your rum.
And I'm like, what?
That's what made me think when I heard him say originally. I thought he was saying red room in like before I realized what the connection was.
Yeah.
I thought he was saying red room, but like as like red rum.
Yeah, I get it.
You know?
So these are basically live stream video torture chambers. Mm-hmm. And one controversial thing was that the dark web doesn't have the ability to stream. They said that it's not that advanced. Like the buffering times would just be stupid, and it was like it would never work.
I don't believe that.
Not
for a half second do I believe that.
I don't either. I just these things, they exist. If people can go out and buy snuff films, these things exist.
Right.
So basically, people can log into the live stream, and the viewers will vote for the type of torture that's going to be carried out on this poor victim. In order to get their choice of torture chosen, they have to bid using cryptocurrency and pay for types of torture. And this can go all the way up to execution. The highest bidder can just say, kill him off.
Right.
Which is gross. And that obviously requires a huge payment. But the reason I'm so convinced that they exist is because there was recently an Australian man named Peter Gerald Scully, who was arrested and is now serving a life sentence in the Philippines. I don't know why he's in the Philippines, but that's
who freaking knows.
That's where he is right now, serving a life sentence for running a red room. And his charges against him were rape, human trafficking, and sexual assault of underage girls. Mm-hmm. And he was running a red room. That's how he got caught.
Yep.
Stupid.
Real stupid.
Real stupid. So, those are all the things, and I'm sure many more, that you can buy or acquire or request. So those are the things you can acquire or buy on the dark web. It said that there's about 2,000 websites on the dark web. So not that large.
Not very many when you're comparing it to like billions and millions.
Right. But you know what?
It's enough.
It's too much.
It's enough. It's more than enough.
It's too much. There's also the Silk Road, and I don't know if it goes by the Silk Road now. There's been many versions of it and many shut down versions of it. Mm-hmm. But basically, it's like an Amazon. It's the virtual black market, and this is where you can acquire all of these things. Mm-hmm. It literally looks like a Craigslist.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it. Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like.
Little tabbies. Here's your drugs and your lab supplies. Your lab supplies. Wink.
Wink, wink.
Services, money, jewelry.
Anything.
Click this tab.
Yeah. There's also, specifically on the Silk Road, or whatever version of it is now, forums where people will talk about like bombings that have happened, and then the people will discuss how the bombs could have been carried out better and made better to do more damage.
I hate that.
That's disgusting. Mm-hmm. Organ extraction, like my joke about the kidney, that's not a lie. You can buy organs on this website. The red rooms are here. That's where you enter or like get the links or access to the red rooms. Again, crimes against kids are like sold and marketed. And also zoophilia and like dead zoophilia.
Look it up.
Don't look it up.
Well, don't look it up, but it's
basically necrophilia with animals. Yay. It's just, we're so uncomfortable. So we're laughing.
I'm like, look it up. And I'm like, wait, don't look it up.
Don't look it up.
But then I had to also know what it was. So torture everybody else. It's fine.
Yeah.
Terrible stuff on there.
So yeah, not good stuff. Also, this is where you're going to find like your knockoff cannibal cafes and fetish sites and all this kind of stuff. So we're going to end off with some fun facts about the dark web. Because
who doesn't love a fun fact?
And it wouldn't be an SNS episode without some fun facts.
All of our fun facts. These ones are not bad.
These ones aren't bad. This is where, okay, trigger warning over. This is where the fun ends, guys.
This is where we come down off of like the anxiety of learning about the dark web.
Yeah. So.
Well, maybe, because the first one is not very, I don't feel very relaxed reading that first one.
So, fact number 1, your social security number can sell for as little as $1 on the dark web. Fact number 2, your driver's license, though, is worth a hot $20.
Yeah.
Oh, this is all in cryptocurrency, like the equivalent Bitcoin. I'm not going to do the conversion rate.
No, I don't know.
Cry about it. Fact number 3 is that you only need to spend, on average, as little as $30 for what they call FULZ, F-U-L-L-Z info, which is basically like the full package of info. Your account numbers, your social media, your emails, your physical address, your driver's license, social security number, all of that. Another fun fact off this one. There was a CNET blogger named Dan Peterson who was doing a blog on the dark web, and he decided he was going to venture into the dark web to get some of these facts, and he actually found himself and a close colleagues of his information for sale, the whole 9 yards. They had everything on these two men, and I was like,
This is terrible.
That kind of makes me sick because I'm like, somebody could just like buy my info and show up. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, how freaky is that?
It's the worst thing. I just have to hope that I'm not interesting enough for anybody to worry about that.
Listen, I know I'm not interesting enough for someone to come, like, just, that takes a lot of effort, you know, to get there, to find me, and then travel here. Like, it's a lot. It's too much. It's more difficult, however, to acquire or replicate diplomas and passports of people, and that can cost anywhere from $100 to $2,000.
Because those are official documents.
Those are official documents. And my last fun fact is that PayPal accounts are of the most common to buy on the dark web.
Mm-hmm. That doesn't really surprise me either, I don't think.
There was a reason why PayPal was like a huge target, and I frankly forgot to write it down. So, just know.
I do remember that there was a reason, but just know if you have a PayPal.
Shit.
They could be buying your information. So we tried to watch some videos about, or like of other people accessing.
Yeah, because we were not about to access the dark web.
I'm very sorry.
I'm not sorry. I'm not going on there.
No. I cannot, in good conscience, access that because I don't have money for a new computer if something were to happen.
Right.
And so we were trying to watch videos of like other people doing it or having like dark web experiences. And we did watch one guy. His name on YouTube is Crypto NWO.
He's kind of a noob, guys.
He's kind of a goof, but it was entertaining. We watched the whole thing of like multiple videos.
Yeah, there was like 3 or 4 videos that we watched the whole way through.
I don't want to get like he has a second video. He has a $500 deep web or dark web box also that we should probably watch after this. Oh, that's a really long video. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyway, we watched one where he spent $666
on a dark web mystery box.
I don't want to I don't want to take all his content, right?
Right.
So
there's 2 parts to that video. Mm-hmm. If you want to be like, if you're doubting that you can find kidneys on the dark web, go watch this guy's video.
Yeah, he doesn't get a kidney, but
you know what? The cops came. The cops were called.
The cops were in fact called on
the plus side, he got crack and an iPad in that box. So if you're really desperate for an iPad Pro and you only have 600 and not the 900, and you're really interested in some cocaine, you might get a double whammy, you know?
Listen.
This is all sarcastic. I hope everyone knows.
Yeah. I don't want to take all his content, so I'm not going to get too deep into it. He did try to put a flash drive into his computer.
A rubber ducky flash drive.
Was stupid.
If any of you guys know what a rubber ducky flash drive is, it's not even like a obscure term.
It's a pretty well-known term in like hacking.
Thing. It's basically like they load a software onto a flash drive or something, and they call it a rubber ducky, and you plug it into your computer, and it basically just takes over.
And it really did.
Yeah, it takes over your computer. It runs the thing it needs to run. It like gathers all the information it needs to gather, and that it's like connected to somebody. Like it's just like a hack basically. They take everything from your computer, all the sensitive information through this flash drive. It's a well-known thing. This guy's he plugged it into his MacBook, guys. And that's where I'm like, I can't figure out if this guy is just really not thinking this through in the nicest way possible, or if he's just trying to get a lot of views.
Right. I mean, it worked. It ended up working out for him eventually. But so check that out. I wish we were being like sponsored, but it's entertainment.
It is entertainment. And if you're like super curious with the dark web, he has a lot of videos about it.
He does. I just saw a bunch of them.
That's like what he does.
I want to make sure we got his name right, so I just saw like a bunch of his dark web videos.
Yeah.
But that's like
that's the lowdown.
Yeah, and I told Sarah before we started, I was like, this, I feel kind of like unfinished.
Yeah, well, I think just the dark web in general has this mysterious, unknown, uneasy feel about it.
You're just not going to have all the information at any time.
Never.
And that's kind of how I feel, because I'm like, we've researched like nonstop. I watched I fell asleep to videos about the dark web last night. And it's just the same things. The same things over. It's really just people repeating what everyone knows. Yeah. Like the majority, like the most that people know is what all the videos are. And so we don't know anything else. So that just is it. Yeah. Besides the things that we don't know. But I'm not going to
unless you're like
go
a
on
hacker
and find out.
And you actually navigate the dark web frequently. And I feel like I made this comment to you the other day when we were doing research. Like, I feel like the people that visit the dark web and frequently use it for all of their dirty deeds aren't going to be the people that are going to be like, oh, I visited the dark web. This is all the things you can do, and like they're not going to be sitting here explaining it because they've been on the fucking dark web.
Like the people who are sneaking onto the dark web for content are going to share it because they have like no connections to the dark web. They don't have any need to be trusted or whatever.
Right.
Did I watch the video with you? No, I think I watched a video by myself last night. This guy went onto the dark web in the hopes of making friends. Did I watch that with you or by myself?
No, by yourself.
This guy. Because I like to watch things like before we record because I like to get all the info.
Yeah.
But this was not informational to me at all. But this guy, and I fell asleep during it, but he went on the dark web via, I want to say it was Tor. And he went and looked up forums or like not forums, chat rooms. And so he would like go to a chat room and at first he couldn't get on. There was something wrong with like the way he was accessing it. He changed it and then instantly it was like a brand new fucking web page. Even though he was like on the same web page or whatever.
That's
same
weird.
like kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so it went from like being unclickable, it was unclickable links on it, to being clickable links, and it would say there's 782 users online.
Oh.
And so he clicked it and he would like go on there and be like, he would make up a name. And it would just be like, hi, I'm so and so. And he would just chat with people. He ended up talking to the same guy twice in a row, but the guy he was talking to didn't know it was the same guy because he changed his name. But then he realized, he was like, oh, my name's whatever. And then the guy would be like, oh, I'm Michael.
Yeah.
And then like they talked for a second and then they clicked off. And then he like not like a Omegle or like chat roulette or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But like not video chat, just regular. Yeah. And then he like was like, oh, I'm whoever, like new name or whatever. And the guy was like, oh, I'm Michael. And then he was like, oh, did you just talk to a guy that was like trying to make friends on the internet? It's, yeah, I did. What a weird guy or whatever. I don't know. They ended up Snapchat video chatting. He gave him his Snapchat and they like Snapchat video chat. He was just a regular guy.
I don't know if I believe that.
I watched it.
I don't know if I believe Michael is just a normal guy.
Michael was from Australia.
I mean,
and he had an accent. I think that's where I fell asleep, was like right after they started their video chat.
That doesn't, you guys, you can make friends better than that.
If I can make
friends in the normal world.
He was trying to see if he could, like, he had an objective, and his objective was like, let me see if I can get people on the dark web to trust me enough to give me like their contact info. And it worked. But he was like trying to make friends. And I mean, it worked for him. And as far as I know, he didn't get hacked or anything. I fell asleep. So
Michael could just be into some weird ass shit, you know?
His face is all blurred out, so couldn't give you any like weird first impression reads off his appearance, but he sounded genuine. But I think all Australians sound genuine. Do you know what I mean?
All Australians sound fake.
I think it's
like, and they're not
nice.
Right. Like I've never known any personal Australian people.
No, me either.
But I watch a lot of them on YouTube, and I just think the accent is, for one, I can't do the accent, and I'm mad about it because I like the accent, and I cannot. I've tried for years, guys. And I cannot do it. I don't know. Michael just, I would never go on the dark web to just be like, hey. Well, first of all, I don't need any more friends. I'm very content with the people in my life. I'm not a people person, but I definitely would not go on the dark web to find more friends when I don't even want to do that in normal public today.
He needed content. I think his like description said something like don't let me get hacked for only 40,000 views or something, and he ended up getting like 2.4 million views or something like that. So
I feel that.
Don't let me do this for 4
no
views or whatever. Yeah.
Shit.
So the deep and the dark web are, there.
You know what? Just enter at your own risk,
Your very own risk. Okay. Yeah. I'm just going to say.
And you're at risk. So
yeah. I mean, like, you can be hacked within moments.
You can be hacked now just living your life. So just, I don't know.
I mean, you could get onto the dark web, right? You could click a link or something to something on the dark web and instantly you're at risk of being hacked. It could happen in seconds.
Yeah. So don't do it.
Just do what we did and watch a million videos
Yeah, because it is spooky and it is mysterious and it is like...
I totally get the intrigue.
Oh, well, yeah. Cause that's why we did an episode about it. I'm so intrigued by it. But not enough to go on it, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely not. So, you know, if you've been on the dark web...
Yeah, if you have any stories or know anybody from the dark web...
I need to know.
I need to know as well.
Actually, immediately.
Yeah.
Or if you know anybody that's been on it...
And you have some like stories, please tell us.
Don't tell me about any criminal activities, though. Because I don't want that on my conscience, you know?
Especially don't tell the law student any of your
Here's the thing, I'm
activities.
no snitch, but I have a conscience that will just wreck me forever, so just don't tell me anything. Anyway, if you've got any experiences with the dark web or you've heard anything about the dark web that we didn't mention today, let us know on any of our social media sites. We are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Sunday Night Spookies and on Twitter at Sunday Spookies.
We also have some links in our description box. We have a link for our Instacart where you can get your groceries delivered to you. And if you use our link, you can get free delivery on your first $30 order or more. Very convenient. I hate grocery shopping. Like, I actually went to the grocery store with you to get groceries.
Dislike. We made the executive decision to never go back.
Because we went together, and because I don't want to go by myself. I just, public guys, not for me. So I'm like, please just come with me. Like, you're not doing anything, just come with me. There were so many people, so many screaming kids. Listen, if your kids are screaming, take them out of the... My mom used to take me and my brother. If we were yelling or acting crazy, she would just walk out, leave her car, walk out. Just so many screaming kids.
My mom just gave me the look of doom, and then I knew I just would have to stop doing the thing I was doing. There's just so many people,
and like, I wanted a bag of grapes, and this old dude is just standing right in front of... If you ever watched Bob Burgers, and you know the episode where they go to the arcade, where he's like, gotta press your wiener against the game. That's how this man was standing, hands on hips, like pushed out, hips pushed out, right in front of the grapes. And I'm like, I need those grapes. He was just kind of like, well, those are grapes. Just looking around, I'm just like, well. Anyway, long story short, get your groceries ordered and delivered.
Yeah, and use our link.
You also can find a link for our Buzzsprout, which is where we host our podcast. And it's a great website. Everything is in one place. So easy to maneuver and manage. It's great. If you use the link, you get a free Amazon gift card.
You sure do.
We also have a Cash App link in there if you're feeling humble and there's like a topic you want us to discuss or a location like in the Midwest area you'd really like us to visit. You can throw a donation our way and we can give you a shout out if you'd like. It's important to know that everything goes right back into giving better and more content for you guys. It's all used for podcasting purposes. We don't use it for personal use ever. And don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, rate on Apple Podcasts. That helps us so much. I don't care what you say in the comments or in the review. You can tell me your sister's favorite color. I don't care.
It doesn't matter.
It does not matter what you say as long as you rate us 5 stars. That helps tremendously.
Yeah, we appreciate you. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Sunday Night Spookies.
Join us next week for our first Wednesday episode. The name is pending. We want to because you know how we have season 1, season 2, season 3. We want to make it something Wednesdays.
Because we've got Sunday Night Spookies.
Yeah.
So Wednesday something.
Whatever. We need...
The series name is in the works. In the works,
pending. If you have any ideas, let us know. But we're going to discuss some spooky missing people. People who've kind of just vanished out of trace. We're just going to pick a few of our favorites and talk about them.
Yeah. So, new episodes are released every Sunday and Wednesday
evening.
Every Sunday and Wednesday evening from here on out. Thanks so much for listening, and as always, stay spooky.